here today with Saints soccer coach Mike Toshack. Going to get ready to ask him some questions as part of our Coaches on Campus segment. How are you doing today, Coach?
Yeah, well.
Good. All right, let's get started. So first question. I know you coached at St. Lawrence in the past, but most recently you've been in the Major League Soccer with the Portland Timbers. Take us through some of your coaching career and where you coached that led you here.
Well, it's here really that launched me and gave me an opportunity to get to that level. The years I spent here with Bob at St. Lawrence was a real proving ground for me to be able to experiment and develop as a coach. And while I was at St. Lawrence, I also had other coaching jobs as well, and led into the biggest one that helped jump me to where I eventually went was the U20 Canadian national team. And from that, when that was over, it was a 3-4 year stint. At the same time, I was still at St. Lawrence. I got into the professional game with the Montreal Impact on a part-time basis. It was in the old USL, not Major League Soccer at that point. And Greg Sutton was there actually, who a goalkeeper that we had here at St. Lawrence at the time. From there, when I left St. Lawrence, I believe 2003 was my last season. I went into the professional game full-time, going to the Vancouver Whitecaps, and they were in the USL at the time as well. And spent 2 really good years there, and won a USL championship with them, which was really thrilling, especially because they were, when I was a boy, they were a team that I really liked in the old North American Soccer League, so it was really thrilling to be part of a championship with them. And then I got my chance in Major League Soccer, and it's funny how things work out. That year, midway through the season with Vancouver, Frank Yallop got the job with Los Angeles Galaxy, and had asked me to come and join his staff, and we weren't able to work it out and get things done, but through that came the opportunity to go to Houston Dynamo the next year and get into Major League Soccer, and that was a really big move for me, to be able to go to Houston, which was a very good team. Dominic Kinnear, the head coach, and it was great for me also to win a Major League Soccer championship there with them, and experience that was amazing. And from then I got the opportunity then to go home, sort of with Toronto FC, and I knew the guy that was going to be coaching there from Newcastle United in England, and it was an opportunity for me, like I said, to go home. So loved Houston, but like I said, it was an opportunity to go home, and I couldn't pass up the offer. And spent 3 years in Toronto with Toronto FC. 3 interesting years and educational years, merry-go-round of head coaches and things like that. So, which is always a learning experience for you. And from there, I was lucky enough to go to the Portland Timbers, and John Spencer was the coach at the time. And we had coached together as assistants in Houston. So I've spent the last 3.5 seasons with the Portland Timbers, which has been an amazing experience for me. It's probably one of the best soccer markets in the United States, with the energy of the crowd and the ownership there with Merritt Paulson and what they put into it was an awesome opportunity for me. And then phone call came, and Bob decided that he was going to put his hat in the ring for Athletic Director, and we had a long discussion with that. I was in Arizona at training camp with the Timbers, and I can remember saying to Bob, are you sure you want to do this? And Scott, if you look here on the wall, you can see this is a man's life's work right here. This is Bob's, legacy right here, and you can see the success of all these teams. And I was with him in some of the early years there, and I know just what Bob put into that to make this a program what it is today. So for him to leave that was very big and go on to a new chapter in his life. And he asked, would you be interested? So I said, yeah, definitely. It was a time for me to, I'm 50 years old right now. I got started a little bit late. I got a little 5-year-old son, and I'm from Prescott, Ontario. It's just 30 minutes from here. So it was time to come home for me.
Yeah.
And come to this exciting challenge. And this is the only place I would have left professional soccer to come to. No other college job would have interested me across the country except this, and the chance to be with Bob again. And if you know Bob, He's an unbelievable person, and I had some of the best times of my life working with him, and the opportunity to come here, and a lot of the people that are still here from when I was just too good to pass up, and here we are.
Cool. So coming from the professional league, like you mentioned, what are some differences that you found in the NCAA game from the MLS game?
You know, I mean, there's the obvious in the wide gap in talent. You know, which is they're younger players and finding their way. In Major League Soccer and at the professional level, it's about managing personalities more, getting players depending on their age and where they're at, getting them to where they need to be just to play on the Saturday. Some of them it may be a little bit of work, others is maybe more. It's not so much teaching as it is on the tactical side. Much of the preparation at the professional level there's a lot of focus on the opponent and what they bring to the table. And my job there was to break down, you know, attacking threats of, you know, the opponent and how they're going to attack us, and then how as a back four and as a goalkeeper are we going to face that? Are we going to defend it?
Yeah.
And so that's a huge, you know, we do that here, but it's a massive part of the game at that level, and just trying to get performances out of people. Whereas at this level, what I really enjoy is the teaching aspect of it, and this particular age group. You know, I was a teacher as well before I was in professional soccer, high school teacher, and my parents were teachers and coaches, so I come by that a little bit honestly, but it's something that I really enjoy, and being out here on the training ground with the players and the chance to teach a little bit more is very rewarding and exciting for me, and it's been a great decision to come home here because I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Good. So as you mentioned, you took over for Coach Durocher, who was here for 25 years and turned the program into a real national powerhouse. What are some similarities and differences to your coaching style and the coaching style of Coach Durocher?
Wow. You know what? I think the best thing, what made it work so well with Bob and I guess you could say I'm a guy with the glass is half full, Bob's the glass is half empty. I mean, you know what? The two of us, we both mixed really well together. I was too much maybe one way, and maybe he the other, and we met in the middle, and it was really good. And I'm joking about that. Bob's an unbelievable motivator and mentor, and you know, I try to be similar to Bob in that I've taken a lot of things away from. I guess the best compliment I can say with us is I would find myself in the professional game, and I'd found myself sounding like Bob, saying things from my days at St. Lawrence and when I'm dealing with players and things. So I think we're very, very similar as people. Bob does a really good job of sometimes hiding an unbelievable sense of humor that he has. So we'll let everybody know that. He's got this unbelievable sense of humor, and which he doesn't let out a lot. You don't see it too often, but he is one of the funniest guys that you'll ever meet, which makes him a lot of fun to be around. So we were a good mix together, but I took away a lot of things from Bob. Bob was a real mentor for me. So I would say what are the similarities and differences? I guess there were, you know, everyone at your own individual. You have to be you when you're coaching. You can't try to be someone else. And this is the way I've always approached it. But with having said that, though, a lot of the things that I've taken into my coaching have been things I've learned from Bob and watching Bob operate this incredible program and grow it. So it's a lot of similarities between the two of us. You know, don't try to copy anyone, but I did take a lot of things away from Bob, and you know, I've been around some top coaches from around the world, and I put Bob right up there with that group, and by far out of any of the coaches I've been with, I've gotten the most from him, which has shaped and influenced me.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to join us. Coach Mike Toshack, men's soccer. We'll see you right here next time.